Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to My Max Academy. In this video, we'll continue with Chapter 4, Quadratic Equation from 10th Standard CBSE Mathematics. So we'll continue with exercise 4.1 in page number 73 in your textbook. We will do second problem, first subdivision. Second problem, first subdivision. So word problem, we have four sub-problems under the second problem. So we'll do one by one. So the question is, in exercise 4.1, question number 2, what it says, the question is, represent the following situation in the form of a quadratic equation. So we have to represent the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. So the given situation is, the first situation or the first sub-problem is, the area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square. The length of the plot is 1 more than twice its breadth. We need to find the length and breadth of the plot. So here the question is, we have to represent the given situation, right, in the form of a quadratic equation, or they may say represent the situation mathematically. Both mean the same. So which means whatever is given in the question, we have to represent that as a quadratic equation. Then there ends the problem. We need not solve that and find the value of the length and the breadth, because they say just represent the situation in the form of a quadratic equation. We don't have to solve that. Sometimes they'll say represent the equation in the form, represent the situation in the form of a quadratic equation and solve them. And hence solve them means we have to solve. So here they say just represent the situation in the form of a quadratic equation. Now let's read the question again. The question is, in second problem, first subdivision, the area of the rectangular plot is 528 meters square. So what is given is area of rectangular plot equal to 528 meters square. Area of a rectangular plot is 528 meters square. So that is given in the question. The second part of the question says, the length of the plot is 1 more than twice its breadth. So what they have said they said length is equal to 1 more than twice the breadth. 1 more than twice the breadth of the plot. Right? So they have said the length of the plot is 1 more than twice the breadth. So twice the breadth means 2 times breadth plus 1. 1 more than 2 times breadth. You can also put 1 plus 2 into breadth, but generally you follow like this. When they say 1 more than 2 times breadth, you first write 2 times breadth, then put plus 1. This is the meaning of 1 more. 1 more than 2 times breadth means 2 times breadth plus 1. So this is another situation, that is condition given. So these two statements are given in the question. So using this, we have to represent the situation in the form of a quadratic polynomial. Now we need to assume something as x. Right? So we know it's a rectangular plot, so it will have a length and a breadth. We can assume one of them as x. So you always assume when length is given in terms of 2 times breadth plus 1, which is 1 more than 2 times breadth, we always take this one as x. In the left side you have only length. In the right side you have 2 into breadth plus something, plus 1. So whenever you have an expression like this, you take this value as x mostly. So we will say let the breadth of the rectangular plot, equal to x meters. How many meters it is? X meters. Length of the rectangular plot is x meters. Now what is the breadth? Breadth of the rectangular plot is x meters. Breadth of the rectangular plot is x meters. Now what is the length of the plot? So the length becomes the length of the rectangular plot will be equal to what is given. Length is 2 times breadth plus 1. This is the meaning of length is 1 more than 2 times breadth, means this is how we write. So which means length of the plot is equal to 2 times breadth. So which means 2 times breadth. Breadth is how much? X plus 1. Clear? So length is what? Length is given as 1 more than 2 times breadth, means you should write 2 times breadth then plus 1. You can also put 1 plus 2 times breadth, but Sometimes they may say, your length is 1 less than 2 times breadth, means you should first always write 2 times breadth, then put plus 1. If they say 1 less than 2 times breadth, means 2 times breadth minus 1. So always put this plus or minus 1 in the end. Now this is your breadth, this is your length. Now area is given as, area is 528 meters square. What is the formula for area? Area is given as 528. Right? What is the area's formula of a rectangle? Length into breadth. So length into breadth, L into B. Right? Length into breadth is area. Area is 528. L into B. What is the length? Length is 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1 into breadth. Breadth is x. So into x equal to 528. So we should multiply these two. Now 2x into x is 2x square. Then 1 into x is x equal to 528. Now bring this 528 to this side. You will get 2x square plus x. This minus for plus 528, if it comes here, it becomes minus 528 equal to 0. Equal to 0. So which means what we have done, we have represented the given situation in a quadratic. This is a quadratic equation. It has ax square plus bx plus c. It is in the general form of the quadratic equation. That is what? Ax square plus bx plus c form. Right? General form is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. The general form of a quadratic equation. Now this looks like the general form. So therefore, which is the, so which represents, which means this represents this one. This for this, which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. So which represents, so this represents, which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. So we have represented the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. Or sometimes they may say represent the given situation mathematically. They say represent the given situation mathematically. Mathematically means also it should represent in the form of a quadratic equation. Fine. Clear? So now we will go to the next problem. In second subproblem. You see, we can, in this problem we can also go ahead and solve this quadratic equation, which we will be studying in the subsequent sections of how to factorize this quadratic equation and solve for x. We have different methods to solve, but here we don't have to solve. We just need to get into the equation and stop that, because that is the question. If they say solve it, then you have to solve. But the question here is not to solve, just to find the equation and stop. So we have found that. Now in second problem, second subdivision, what is given? The question is, the product of two consecutive positive integers is 306. We need to find the integers. We need to find the integers. So the product of the two consecutive integers is 306. We have to find the integers. Now when they say consecutive integers means next to next. If one integer is 7, next integer is 8. 7 and 8 are called as consecutive integers. So here it says consecutive positive integers. It can be any two integers, 11 and 12, 10 and 11, 9 and 10. That is the meaning of consecutive positive integers. But what they have said, the product of the consecutive positive integers is 306. So which means we should take those integers as sum x. So the two, so we'll say let the two consecutive positive integers be what? X. If I take first number as x, one integer x, what is the next consecutive integer? The number after this, which means x plus 1. Be x comma x plus 1. So one integer is x. If one integer is x, what is the next integer? Because consecutive means next to next. Consecutive means next to next. So what is the immediate integer after x? There is x plus 1. If it is 7, if 7 is one integer, the next consecutive integer is 8. If 11 is an integer, the next consecutive integer after 11 is 12. If x is an integer, what is the next consecutive integer after x? X plus 1. So this x and x plus 1 are called as two consecutive integers. Now what they have said, they said the product of the two consecutive positive integers is 306 or 306, right? So which means the product of these two, product means multiply. So it is given that x into x plus 1 equal to 306. Which means they say if you multiply the two, if you find the product of the two consecutive integers, product means multiply, which means x into x plus 1, you get 306. So this is a given situation. Now let's simplify this. Now x into x is x square, because we have to represent that in the form of a quadratic equation. Now x into 1 is x equal to 306. Now it becomes x square plus x. This 306 comes this side. It will become minus 306 equal to 0. Equal to 0. Minus 306 comes this side. It will become plus. This is 306. If it comes this side, it will become minus 306. So your answer is x square plus x minus 306. Sorry, I'm sorry. It is 306. Sometimes I say 306. Please excuse me. So x square plus x minus 306 equal to 0. Now this is the it's in the form of the general form of the quadratic equation. So which represents the given situation in the form of quadratic equation, which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation, So that completes that problem. Now what we have is the third one. In second problem, third subdivision. So what that says? So that says, if you read the question, it says Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him, which means Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan, which means she is 26 years more than Rohan. The product of their ages, product means multiplication. If you multiply their ages, product of their ages 3 years from now will be 360. We would like to find Rohan's present age. So again, whenever the age problem comes, first things that we should write is we have to see how many people are there in that problem. There are two people. One is Rohan, the other one is his mother, Rohan's mother. So now what he says is Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan, which means what is given is Rohan's mother's age equal to Rohan's age plus 26 plus 20, because she is 26 more than Rohan. Older than means more than, right? So suppose if Rohan's age is 10, his mother's age is 36, because 10 plus 26, 36. I'm just giving an example. Suppose if Rohan's age is 10, his mother's age will be 26 more than Rohan, which means she becomes 10 plus 26, which is 36 will be the Rohan's mother's age. So this is one condition that is given. The other condition that is given is the product of their ages 3 years from now. 3 years from now means after 3 years. After 3 years, if you find their age and if you find the product of their age means when you multiply their age, then you get 360. You get 360. Now, whenever the age problem comes, we have to see how many people are there in that question. There are two people, Rohan and his mother. First, write these two statements. Let the present age of now if you see Rohan's mother's age is given in terms of Rohan's age plus 26. So which means we will assume Rohan's age as x, like how we assumed here, breadth as x. So like that here we will assume Rohan's present age as x. So let the present age of Rohan's equal to x years. His present age is x years. So then his mother's age will be what? Rohan's mother's present age will be what? Rohan is x years. His mother will be 26 more than Rohan. She is 26 years older than Rohan, which means her age will be Rohan's age plus 26. Rohan's age is x, so it will become x plus 26. X plus 26 is the age of Rohan's mother, because it is given that in the question, if you see the first line, Rohan's mother is 26 years older than Rohan, right? Which means she is 26 years more than Rohan's age, which means if I add 26 to Rohan's age, we'll get Rohan's mother's age. So which is x plus 26. Now we know that percentage. Now we have to see the next part of the question. It says the product of their ages 3 years from now. Product of these ages 3 years from now means we have to find what will be their age 3 years from now, which means after 3 years from now. So we should say after 3 years, what is their age? After 3 years, Rohan's age will be, what will be Rohan's age? His present age is x. Currently he is x years old. After 3 years, he will become x plus 3. X plus 3 years. Because after 3 years, we are talking about the case where after 3 years. Because they say the product of their ages after 3 years from now is 360. They are not saying the product of the current age is 360. They are saying if you try to find their age after 3 years, both Rohan's age and his mother's age, and then when you multiply those two ages, you will get 360. So which means we should find what is Rohan's age after 3 years. Now presently he is x years, so after 3 years he will become x plus 3. Then we should find his mother's age. So Rohan's mother's age. Mother's age will be, that is also after 3 years. So after 3 years, Rohan will be x plus 3. Rohan's mother will be how much? What is the present age of Rohan's mother? X plus 26. So what will be her age after 3 years? After 3 years, her age will be x plus 26 is the present age plus 3. She will also become 3 years more. No, see, suppose if your present age is suppose 15. Now what will be your age after 3 years? It is 15 plus 3, which is 18. Correct? So if your present age is x, what will be the age after 3 years? X plus 3. If Rohan's mother's age is x plus 26 currently, present age. Now what will be her age after 3 years? It will be x plus 26 plus 3, which means it will become x plus 29. X plus 26 plus 3 will become x plus 29 years. X plus 29. So now we have found their age after 3 years. Rohan's age is x plus 3, his mother's age is x plus 29. Now what they are saying, now the product of these two ages is 360, which means Rohan's age after 3 years, which is x plus 3, into his mother's age after 3 years, which is x plus 29. If you multiply both, product of their ages, not product of their present ages, it's their product of their ages after 3 years from now, which is these two. The product is 360. When you multiply these two, you get 360. That is what is given. Now if you simplify this, which means we need to multiply them. If you multiply, what do you get? X into x is x square. So x into x is x square. Then x into 29 is 29x. Then 3 into x is plus 3x. Then 3 into 29 is 87. And that is equal to, this is 3x. That is equal to 360. That is equal to 360. Fine. So now let's continue here. I'll make the continuation of this here. Fine. Now, so this one. So I'm writing the same thing as it is here, so that no, I don't want to make any calculation. We'll do the next simplification. I'm just writing as it is. 87 equal to 360. Now if you simplify this, I have written it properly, because sometimes when you copy from here and you write it here, you make mistakes. I have made many mistakes when I was a small boy. So I will copy here, I will put some, instead of plus 3x, I'll put minus 3x, or I may leave one term. I will write only these three, I will miss 87, then the entire problem will become wrong. Fine, so we have to be careful. So now x square, this is plus 32x, because 29 plus 3 is 32, plus 87. This 360 comes this side, it will become minus 360 equal to 0. So you get x square plus 32x. I have to subtract these two. So what is 360? So the sign will be negative. So 360 and then 87. So 3, then 15 is 7, 2. So I get 273 equal to 0. So now what we have done, we have represented the situation in the form of a quadratic equation, because it is of the form ax square plus bx plus c. So we will say which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. Clear? Fine. So I'll erase this as well. I'll erase this. So the problem ends here. See, they are not, see, if they say find and then solve and get the value of Rohan, then you have to solve this. But here they say you just represent in the form of quadratic equation. They are not asking us to solve the quadratic equation. Fine. So next one is the last one in fourth sub problem. It's very important. Even all these four you can take it, even this age problem is important, that is also important. Any word problem, it is important. But once you understand, then it becomes very easy to solve. We just need to, practically understand. We need to understand the problem, right? Practically, what is given, what we have to find. Right? Now we'll go to the fourth one. The fourth one says, in second problem, fourth subdivision, it says a train travels a distance of 480 km at a uniform speed. If the speed had been 8 kilometers per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. So this is the situation. We have to represent this situation in the form of a quadratic equation. So what is given? A train is traveling a distance of 480 kilometers in a uniform speed. Suppose if the speed of the train is reduced by 8 km per hour. Right? Obviously, when you reduce the speed, if the train goes slower, it will take more time to cover the same distance. It's going to the same place. Right? So the moment the train reduces the speed, the time it takes to reach the destination will be more. So it takes 3 hours more. 3 hours more. So suppose generally if a train takes 10 hours to reach between, suppose, two stations. Suppose A to B. A is one city, B is another city. Right? Right? It goes in some normal speed. Suppose if it reduces the speed, then it will take 3 hours more to cover the same distance. Right? Generally, if it takes, suppose, to go from A to B, if it takes 10 hours, suppose, time, if it is going with the reduced speed, then it will take 3 hours more, which means it will take 13 hours to cover the same distance. So usually, suppose, I'm just giving an example. Here the time is not given. How much time it takes generally to travel between, to cover the destination of 480 kilometers. So this is 480. The distance is 480. The speed is not given. The time also not given. I'm just saying, for example, if the time, suppose if it takes 10 hours in the normal speed, in the usual speed, if the speed is reduced, it will take 3 hours more, which means it will take 13 hours. Suppose if it takes 20 hours to go to cover this distance of 480, but if it is going at a slower speed, then it will take 3 more hours extra, which means usually 20 hours it will cover the distance, it will take 23 hours, so 3 hours more. Right? So now, so what is given here is, now if you understand this, whenever you see this speed, distance and time, we need to use our formula, speed equal to, or distance equal to speed into time, or we can use the other formula, speed equal to distance by time, or time equal to distance by speed. Anyone, this distance comes this side, it will become divided, right? So we will mostly use this formula, time equal to distance by speed, which you would have studied in physics. Now what is given? The situation that is given is, right? We'll write first the usual speed. We don't know what is the uniform speed. Generally, at what speed it goes, we don't know. So we will assume that it is x. So we'll say let the uniform speed of the train equal to x kilometer per hour. Suppose it is going with the speed of x kilometer per hour. Right? Let the uniform speed of the train is x kilometer per hour. Okay, then what is the reduced speed? So reduced speed of the train is what? Reduced speed of the train will be equal to how much? Generally it goes at the speed of x kilometer per hour, but someday it is going 8 kilometers per hour less than the usual speed. This is the usual speed. Usual speed, it goes at x kilometer per hour. Now it is going 8 kilometers per hour less than the usual speed, which means the reduced speed is x minus 8 kilometer per hour. So it goes 8 kilometers speed less than the usual speed. Usual speed is x kilometer per hour. So the reduced speed will be x minus 8, because the speed is reduced by what they say. If the speed had been 8 kilometers less, suppose if the train goes at the speed of 8 kilometers per hour less than the usual speed, then it will take 3 hours more to cover the same distance or to reach the same destination. So this is the reduced speed of the train, which is x minus 8. From the usual speed, if it goes 8 kilometers less, which means x minus 8 is the new speed. And now we have written this. Now, so what is given is time taken. Let the usual, let's use the word, let the usual uniform speed is this. So reduced speed is this. Now time taken by usual uniform speed, and see time taken by reduced speed. Time taken by reduced speed, and time taken, so what is the time taken if it goes with the less speed? That will be equal to time taken, by, I'll erase this also, time taken by the usual uniform speed plus 3 hours. So what is the time taken by reduced speed? Time taken by reduced speed equal to time taken by the usual uniform speed plus 3, which means whatever time it covers usually, with that it will take 3 more hours. If it goes with the reduced speed. Suppose generally if it takes 3 hours, suppose if it is generally 10 hours to cover the distance of 480, if it takes 10 hours, then with the reduced speed it will take 10 plus 3 hours, which means 13 hours. And the 10 is an example that I have given. So this is the condition. Time taken by reduced speed to travel to reach the destination. So time taken by, or time taken with, we say time taken, how we can say by, time taken by reduced speed is equal to time taken by the usual uniform speed plus 3. Now what is the time taken by the reduced speed? What is the time with the reduced speed? What is the time? Distance by, so distance by speed, distance by reduced speed. Distance by reduced speed will give you the time taken by reduced speed. Right? Time taken, time is distance by reduced speed. That is equal to, now time taken by the usual uniform speed is distance by uniform speed, usual uniform speed plus 3, this 3, right? Here I'll put this plus 3 here, plus 3. I'm putting that plus 3 here, right? So distance by reduced to speed equal to distance by usual uniform speed plus 3, because time is what? Time is distance by speed, but here I should put usual speed. Here we should put, for the time taken by reduced to speed, it is distance by the reduced speed. Fine. Okay, so now what is the distance? Distance is 480 kilometers. That is given in the book. This is given in the book. So these two are not given. These two I just wrote it for you to understand. If it takes 10 hours, then with the reduced to speed, it will take 13 hours. But these two are not given. I just wrote it for your understanding. But the distance is 480 kilometers given in the question. So 480 is the distance by reduced to speed. What is the reduced to speed? This is the reduced to speed. X minus 8 equal to the distance. The distance is again 480. It's the same distance. To cover the same distance. So 480 by usual uniform speed is what? What is the usual uniform speed? X. X plus 3. Is it clear? So if it goes with the slower speed, the time taken, this is the time taken if it goes with the slower speed. That will be equal to the general time it takes plus 3 hours, because it takes 3 hours more than the usual time. It takes 3 hours more because it is going at the slower speed, x minus 8. Now let's bring everything to one side now. So I can bring this to one side. 480 by x minus 8 minus this 480 by x comes this side. It will become 480 by x equal to 3. We will keep this 3 here, then later we'll bring it here. Let's try to simplify this. Fine. So what happens if we simplify? Erase this. Right. So I am writing the same thing again. So 480 by x minus 8 equal to 480 by x. 480 by x minus 480 by x equal to 3. Now we can take this 480 is common in both. So I can take 480 common. If I take 480 common, this will become 1 by x minus 8 minus 1 by x equal to 3. Because I have taken this 480 is present in both the terms, I am taking that common. If a 480 is taken out, then this 480 will become 1. Because 480 is taken out, this will be x minus 8. Again 480 is taken out, it will become 1. If you multiply 480 into 1, you will get 480 by x minus 8. Again 480 into this one will give you 480 by x. Right? So 480, we'll keep it here. We'll do this. So how do we do this? These two fraction addition normally. So you will do this 1 into x minus x minus 8 into 1. So you should put bracket x minus 8 into 1 divided by x minus 8 into x. So x minus 8 into x equal to 3. Right? So you will do this into this minus this into this by x minus 8 into x. Normal fraction subtraction. So now this becomes 480 into x minus into x is minus x, minus into minus is plus 8 by multiply x into x is x square, minus 8 into x is minus 8x equal to 3. Now if you simplify further, so now x and x gets cancelled. These two x will get cancelled. So you get 480 into plus 8. Don't put 480 plus 8. This is multiplication. So 480 into plus 8 is, you get 480 into 8. I'm not going to multiply. I'm just keeping as it is by x square minus 8x equal to 3. Fine. Fine. Is that clear till now? Now let's cross multiply. So this is by 1. So let's cross multiply this into this, this into this. So it becomes 3 into x square minus 8x, this into this equal to this into this, 480 into 8. Right? So this into this you can write here, and this into this you can write here. So that it becomes a straight linear form. There is no fraction there. Then don't multiply with 3 with this. Take this 3 here because it will get cancelled here. It is divisible by 480. So our x square minus 8x will become 480 into 8 by 3. So this 3 will go down. It will go to the denominator. So don't multiply. Don't multiply 480 into 8 because your 3 is cancelling that 480. If you cancel, it will become 160. It will become 160. Now you get x square minus 8x equal to 160 into 8 is 1280. Right? 16 8s are 128. Now you get this. Now again bring this to this side. You get x square minus 8x minus 1280 equal to 0. So this is the required quadratic equation which represents the given situation. Clear? So we'll say, so which means which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation, which represents the given situation in the form of a quadratic equation. Fine, clear? So this is how we do this. So this is very important problem, but very easy, but you need to be very careful when you are writing this. This statement is very important. Fine. Okay, so we will end the session here, and you can watch my next video for the continuation of this. So thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys.